Hi guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bond, and today we are talking about what's going on around here. And the two things that are going on are, number one, I'm hanging out with Tulum, one of our Green-cheeked Conures, and number two, there's a hurricane heading our way-ish. We'll see where it hits. So, to start, welcome to My Bliss. I love my parrots, and I'm here to hopefully help inspire you and help you create a more blissful bond with your parrot, because I think there's nothing better in the world than that. When you have a blissful bond with your parrot, you have a best friend, a confidant, and a true companion. I once had a dog that, we've had more than one dog, but one dog that was just fantastic. She was just an exceptional dog. And, she was a large dog, so she lived the average is, like 10, 12 years. And it was so hard, and I still miss her. So one of the things that I love about parrots is that they are longer companions. They're, able to be your companion for a longer time. And can you imagine if everyone in the world had a confidant and a companion like a parrot that that they really felt happy and comfortable with, and that they had a blissful bond with? There are a lot of people who would be nicer, happier people, right? All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Tulum. Tulum is a green-cheeked conure. Being a green-cheeked conure, or a pyrrhura molinae, I believe is her Latin name. Actually, that's her Latin name. Whether or not I'm pronouncing it correctly is like another story. Being a green-cheeked conure, she's in a family of conures that aren't too loud. That's a really nice thing, because some conures are notorious for being very loud, right? However, Tulum is interesting. On the one hand, she nibbles on me sometimes, which is like a warning. It's not a nice, friendly nibble. It's not "I'm hungry." It's not exploring. It's moody. Unfortunately, Tulum is a little moody, but my daughter can handle her. She likes hanging out with me. We kind of let her hang out with whoever she wants, but she's not in with the bigger birds. We do separate our smaller birds from our bigger birds. We have two green-cheeked conures that are comfortable being in the main room where the bigger birds are. You have to build your bird up if you're going to introduce them to other birds, especially if you're going to introduce them to a bigger bird. You have to make sure that they sort of understand the potential behavior of another bird, the potential danger, stuff like that. And our two green-cheeked conures that know how to be in the big room, they know how to do it. Whereas Tulum doesn't. I wouldn't quite feel comfortable. Sometimes I'll walk in to the kitchen in the family room with her, but I don't really let her come off of my shoulder and fly around. I just want to make sure that she's nice and safe. So that means that right now she's been in the office, and what we do is we rotate who comes into the office. It's usually little birds like a parrotlet cage, or the crimson conures, or right now it's Tulum and her mate Monkey. That way they get some time where when we're in here, they can just do whatever they want, except eat my computer and the cords, right? And you can see she's bobbing her head a lot. She's a little moody right now. And unfortunately, she's not clicking now. She often clicks, and I'll click at her and I'll see if she'll click back. Good girl. Thank you. Yay! Thanks, sweetie. Can I pet you? That's not, oh, see there, she's starting to nibble. The clicks are nice because they're an invitation to be friends. That means she's happy and she wants to hang out. Right now, she's a little moody and she's a little on edge. I don't know why. What's going on? You don't have to be here. it's like I feel like she has mixed feelings right now. On the one hand, she wants to be with me. On the other hand, I don't know, something's up. So that is Tulum. Tulum is not the colors of a green-cheeked Conure that attract me the most. And by the way, she's yellow-sided red factor, right, love?
She's not red factor.
Oh, she's not red factor, just yellow-sided?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, yellow-sided. And she's not my favorite colors for green-cheeked Conure, but she really likes being with me, and I really like that. So I do enjoy hanging out with her. Not as much when she's moody. Some of the kind of pecking her head down is kind of like, this is my territory. And it's a little angry, a little defensive, a little bit of a warning. So moody. So that is Tulum, who is hanging out with me for a little while. Now, what else is going on around here? There's a hurricane coming. Interestingly enough, hurricanes for us on the East Coast originate off the coast, I think, off the coast, but in Africa. They come from the other side of the world. So right now there's a hurricane that's coming, and you know, they have projections about what directions they think it'll come, and it's based on models, and I think the models are based on, you know, past hurricanes, that kind of thing. And so it looks like tomorrow evening, it'll be hitting the Keys. And since we're in Florida, of course, the Keys are at the tip of Florida. They're the southernmost part of the United States. And then it's saying, you know, they're saying that the hurricane's going to go up the west coast of Florida. So then it goes into the Gulf of Mexico. If it comes up the east coast, that's when it could hit us. And of course, when it comes up the west coast, that doesn't mean that the weather and stuff won't affect us. But so we might have a hurricane coming. How exciting. And in any case, I think we're going to have some weather. I thought that would be a good opportunity to talk about a plan. It's always good to have an emergency plan for your birds, but of course, any pets you have, as to, you know, if you need to get out of the house, what are you going to put them in? How are you going to take a little, maybe food, water, or whatever it is that they might need? To a great extent, when you have hurricanes, it's interesting because some people, the plan is like button down the hatches. There's just, you know, I don't know, there's just not a whole lot of escaping in a hurricane. They just come. And so people who have lived in Florida for a long time, they're like, we have a party. They go, sometimes we don't have electricity, but we just have a party. It's kind of like snow days. They're like, we just stay in and get to relax and just really enjoy it. Like, you're kidding. So we haven't really been through a real hurricane. Coincidentally, we've lived in Florida for several years now, but like one year we happened to be on vacation in Mexico, and then it wasn't that bad. One year I think it didn't come. Another year it was supposed to be really bad, and that year we did try to leave. We actually went north because it was just supposed to be like the worst hurricane in all of recorded history. And then it just wasn't that bad, which is a good thing. It was really hard on Puerto Rico, but by the time it got to us, it was pretty mellow. So we haven't really gone through a hurricane, and at this point, we'll button down the hatches. So when people come over to visit, like bird people, they're like, "Oh, you have it so easy if there's a hurricane because all of your birds are inside." This is how bird people think. It's like, you know, what's your setup? Can your, you know, what do you have to do in a hurricane? Or, you know, I mean, this is some of the things that bird people, like how they think of the birds. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, so yes, we have everything set up, like all the birds are in the house. And like I said, I rotate some of the birds. Some go into the office here. Depending, for example, when our Cape Parrot Paloma was a young baby, she would go into my husband's office during the day. And that way, you know, she kind of had some company, and she could rest and, she could kind of grow up a little and, he could keep his eye on her, that kind of thing. Now, Paloma's interesting because she's about 4 months old now, and her attitude is just like, I'm an adult cape. I'm a big girl. Don't come near me. I'm just going to do whatever I want. If I come to you, I can be on your shoulder and I can ask you for pets, but otherwise, you're no touching me, no telling me where to go, no telling me what to do. She's like just very confident, very capable. She holds her own, and she's just incredible. So she's doing really well. So now sometimes Bonnie Rose, our new golden conure, goes into his office again so that she can be there. She can come out on the perch. Sometimes he'll pick them up, but she has some company, and I'm just really having her adjust to the flock because her wings are clipped, so she doesn't have that same confidence because she's a sitting duck kind of thing. It's very hard on her. Unfortunately, she came that way. We didn't have a choice. So it's not what we like to do. One of the reasons Paloma is so confident and so much thinking that she's a big bird is because she not only can fly, but she is an exceptional flyer. And we attribute that to the fact that her wings have never been clipped. So I rotate cages, and I also rotate some to the front lanai. And in the front lanai, that means that I put some cages outside, but they're still enclosed in the netting, in the screen, so that those birds can get some fresh air, some sunshine, because that fresh air is just magical. Bonk, bonk, bonk. But she's just like really moody today. Why are you so moody today? The fresh air is just magical. I mean, I think that's like just breathing in health. And then the sunshine is really good because, for one thing, sunshine is going to help clean their feathers. The sun is a natural disinfectant. So a parrot that is outdoors and getting some sun, and of course it doesn't have to be like all day long, but for some time on a fairly regular basis, their feathers are going to get disinfected from any mites or anything that they might have. And it's important to make sure that they also have water because, they'll take a bath and then they'll go and sun themselves. And it's just really good hygiene. Plus, of course, parrots need UV and UB light. It actually helps some of their vision. Without that good lighting, they lose some of their, I think some of their ability to see colors, as I understood it. And when they're indoors, even if you have your parrot by a window, most windows are going to block that UV and UB light because, it'll fade our furniture and it's not supposed to be good for us kind of thing. So I do try to rotate and make sure that everyone gets outside to catch some direct sunlight and direct air, as often as possible, but usually a couple times a week. So today I decided to bring everyone in because, first of all, happy 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. I don't find that my parrots freak out with the fireworks, although we're in a residential area and there just aren't a lot of big, loud fireworks. But birds, they're pretty accustomed to making loud noises, so they don't really seem bothered by loud noises, right? The vacuum cleaner doesn't seem to bother them. The garbage disposal, none of the things that like kind of freak out the cat or might freak out the dog. So I'm not really worried about the sound for them, but I just don't know, about like smoke in the air from the fireworks tonight, or sometimes people are out celebrating and, they're having a barbecue or whatever, they're being loud or whatever it is. Like I want the parrots to just be nice and quiet and at ease. And I felt like I smelled some smoke outside. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Doesn't matter. I was like, what, today we're coming in early because I just don't want to have to worry about my birds. So, right? We always do what we think is the very best thing, right, Tulum, for the parrots. So that is our hurricane plan. It's make sure that we have lots of parrot food. I've got my fresh veggies. We have pellets, seeds for the seed eaters, like the parrotlets. Maybe I'll maybe I'll make sure that we have some water, extra water around the house. And I just don't think we're really going to get hit. Like, we probably will just have rain or, so a storm, not necessarily a hurricane. But these are the things that we do to prepare, just to make sure that everyone's going to have food and that everyone's going to be safe and sound. And we'll just put up our hurricane shutters and then do what all the other, not all, but most all the other Floridians do. Just ride it out. So kind of exciting. And then right before the hurricane, tomorrow I'm taking my daughter and her friend to Lion Country Safari. That's a park here in Florida. It's close by us, and it's a park where you get to go and in your car, you drive around, and it's like a safari, right? Because you drive around in the car on the road, and you visit different continents and you see the animals. And I think for some of it, you like drive through a cage. I forget how they do it, but some of it, the animals are like, the lions are going to be in their big caged areas. And then for some of it, you drive sort of into a caged area and the animals are just like wherever. Like, there might be someone crossing the road kind of thing. So you have to, drive carefully and that kind of thing. But they also have an area of the park afterwards. They kind of have like the safari side where you drive through and you visit the different continents of animals, that kind of thing. And then they have another side that's a little bit more of a park where one time we fed the giraffes. You can feed them these, a head like of romaine lettuce, and you're like, oh, that's so cool, that'll last me forever. And the giraffe, they just take it with their tongue and it's gone. And you're like, I just paid like triple the price I would have in the supermarket, and I really thought it would last, and now it's gone. But they also have an area where they have, I understand, lorikeets. I don't think they have budgies. I think it's just lorikeets, and you can feed the lorikeets. And if that's the case, I will do a video feeding the lorikeets. I don't know if it's open because of the pandemic. We'll see. And I don't know, supposedly when it's raining on the safari side, the animals come out because it's cool. So they actually are happier to come out. So it's actually a better time to visit. But I don't know how the lorikeets will do. So we'll see, we'll see. Hopefully I'll get to do a video on that because I think that would be a lot of fun. All right. As always, thank you for watching the ads. I appreciate it. It helps me support my flock. And what else? What else? If you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to share your bliss or any questions down below at parrotbliss.com, where you can also get Tink's Must Have Parrot Relief, which is CBD oil, to help if your parrots are sensitive to noise and going crazy tonight. I know you won't get it by tonight, but see, you should have gotten it. And you can also join Parrot Bliss Flock on Facebook, which is our group. Or leave a question or a comment on the Facebook Instagram Messenger. Thank you for joining Tulum and I in this head-bobbing Moody video. We'll catch you next time.